Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with our second topic. We're discussing today that Egypt is considered one of the best performing countries in the world in the soft power index. And to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phone with Dr. Maha Mahgoub, International Labour Organization Counselor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, Dr. Mahgoub, what is the importance of Egypt's receiving this as it's concerning the report on Monday on the role of the soft power in the society during the past 8 years, and Egypt was classified as one of the best countries in the world by the Brand Finance soft power index. What is the importance of this classification?
Yes, good morning. The classification is very important as it indicates that how did Egypt achieve a lot of progress in soft power. What do we mean about soft power? It's the state ability influence various international aspects, states, such as states, companies, societies, people. And we have achieved a lot of progress during the last 8 years. That, of course, through attraction of persuasion in the state of restoring coercion and traditional power tools. Nowadays, Egypt possesses a numerous type of soft power. Among the most important are its important history, culture, and political geography. It's worth to mention that the Brand Finance's classification of Egypt as one of the best countries world performance in the soft power index. The report referred to Egypt's success in obtaining a distinguishing position in soft power indicators, explaining that soft power index measures both the extent to which citizens and specialists participating in the index perceive and evaluate the soft power of the country and the extent of its impact on the global arena, in addition to evaluating the country dealing with the corona pandemic, for example, as well as evaluating the country's performance in 7 basic pillars of soft powers, which are education and science, international relations, trade and business, heritage and culture, media promotions, and outreach, governance values. Hello?
Yes, Dr. Mahgoub. So can you elaborate on the idea about the soft powers in Egypt and how they are presented in your opinion? What presents the soft power in Egypt?
Yes, it's represented in many areas and many fields. For example, as I mentioned, that it's emphasized in 7 main basic pillars, which are education, science, international relations, trade, business, heritage, culture, media, promotions, outreach, and of course, if we find a comparison regarding the performance of these pillars in the last 8 years, we can find a lot of progress happened to Egypt regarding these indicators, and this is what's mentioned in the report of the index. For example, if we would like to mention something related to education or something related to other aspects, we can find a huge progress, and Egypt gained huge differences in different areas. For example, in corporate governance and so on, the points has been increased into 3.5 points instead of 2.2 in 2020. For example, in international relationship, we have achieved the point 3.3 in 2022, and in 2020 it was 2.3. For example, in education and science, so we have reached 3 points in 2022 instead of 2 points in 2020. In culture and heritage, we have achieved a lot, 4.5 points. So it's not a little bit increased at that time because of the current situation due to the negative impact of coronavirus and the international crisis and so on.
Yes. Dr. Mahgoub, also, how do you evaluate Egypt's performance through the past 8 years concerning the soft power, and how did Egypt was able to enhance the performance of the soft power with its reform efforts so as to achieve the sustainable development and would meet its plan for sustainable development 2030?
Yes, yes. Egypt state has strengthened its soft power in conjunction with its continuous reform efforts in various fields over the course of 8 years ago. In order to sustain development and consolidate the strength of its political, economic, social, cultural elements, it enables to process and sponsor initiatives aimed at achieving security, peace, and stability in the region. In addition to working to achieve rapprochement with people of different cultures, such as investing in human capital and exploiting the culture and historical heritage and the human and citizens' way to promote Egyptian culture and civilization, which affect positively on the strengthening Egypt position on the investment and tourism map and placing it to correct position as influential forces in its region and even global environment, which promoted Egypt to occupy advanced positions in the international classification indicators, and it is distinguished model of the soft power.
Yes. Doctor, you've mentioned that the soft powers are represented by the education, other sectors, and also I would like to add health and other fields. So how has this support the soft powers become clear in the state's efforts, also with the initiatives that was launched by the state?
Yes, the state's efforts and the international outlook in the framework of upgrading the education and science index, which depends on some sub-pillars, including leadership in the field of education and science, the strength of the educational system, innovation and technology, and with regard to achieving leadership in the field of education and science, Egypt ranked first in the Arab world and Africa in terms of number of universities listed in the bridge time classification, with inclusion of 23rd additional universities during the last 8 years, as 26 universities were included in classification in 2023 compared to the 3 universities in 2016. And yes, Egypt ranked first in Africa in the field of publishing scientific researches in globally indexed journals and global service platform in 2020. In addition to return of the Cairo University branches in Khartoum to work and preparation of Alexandria University branch. And we would like to talk about tourism as a continuation of the review of the government's efforts and the international outlook of the frame of upgrading the heritage and culture index with regard to the rich heritage and attraction. In this context, the report focused on classifying Egypt among the best tourist destination to travel in the 2023 according to the CNN Travel, as well as developing the site of the Holy Family Passes, which is the source of religion tourism in the world, and in addition including Egyptian Museum in Tahrir on the primary list of the World Heritage Site.
Yes. Also, how can supporting the soft power enhance Egypt's image abroad internationally? And also, how would this pave way for more investments in Egypt and would boost tourism to Egypt and attract tourists to Egypt?
Yes, of course. If we have achieved a good ranked, a high ranked by the report, so that means that Egypt now is walking on the right track, and Egypt progressed by 32 centers in the Travel and Tourism Development Index. It's ranking 51 in 2021 compared to 83 in the 2015, and advanced 7 centers in the Legacy Index, which evaluate historical, geographical, and cultural attraction, ranked 6 in the 2022 compared to the 13th place in the 2016. All of these statistics and data reflect that the clear environment and the touristic attraction to the whole world due to the current peace, stability, good climate, a lot of ancient monuments, and a lot of things that it's attractive to all tourism. And on the other hand, the economic reform of Egypt, which attracts a lot of investors here in Egypt, how to facilitate the rules, regulations, and everything to attract more investors to Egypt and to present a good image of Egypt.
Yes. How was the soft power enhancing the Egypt's image abroad, and also, as we've just said, boosting tourism and investment during the? How was it important during the coronavirus, for example?
Yes. The report clarified that Egypt was dealing very good during the corona pandemic here in Egypt, and that we have overcome all obstacles financially, health issues, and it's mentioned by the United Nations that Egypt achieved a good performance during the coronavirus pandemic. That, of course, as a result of 8 years of working how to restructure the country, how to set a good vision of Egypt to be aligned with the sustainable goals of development, how to create vision of Egypt 2030, and that, of course, reflects the good performance of the state, how to overcome pandemics. Although during this time, the whole world was facing a huge problem in overcoming the corona pandemic, but Egypt successfully ranked among the best countries all over the world. That's mentioned by the United Nations that we have overcome this crisis and passed without a harmful effect on our stability.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Dr. Maha Mahgoub, International Labour Organization Counselor. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. And with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of The Breakfast Show. I was in the company of my colleague Mahesti Rabia. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.